must sneak toward shore like an enemy. Now the convoy lies off the coast of High Barbary. Beyond lies Africa. President Roosevelt announces the landings to the French by radio and asks their help. Then General Eisenhower urges the French to turn their searchlights skyward as a token of welcome. All hands hope and pray there will be no resistance. H hour comes in the hazy dawn of November 8th, 1942. The troops go ashore, still uncertain whether they will be welcomed or resisted, embraced or shot. No resistance. But the searchlights are deceptive. The lights are hostile, not friendly. The French are confused. They have not heard the Allied broadcasts, and military leaders loyal to the Vichy government decide to fight. For the landing troops, no doubt remains now. They will be resisted. The shores are hostile. The French are fighting. But the assault proceeds as planned, and the troops head for shore on either side of Casablanca, the target. And lying at anchor in the harbor of Casablanca, more trouble. Ships of the French Navy. The battle for Casablanca continues for 3 bitter days before the Vichy French surrender, and the Free French and their American allies take over. Casablanca's harbor, a major prize. But the victory is not without sorrow. Americans and French who have fallen fighting one another are buried side by side. A German commission delegation sent to negotiate with the French is trapped in Casablanca. This, says the general who heads the delegation, is the worst setback to German arms since 1918.
Meanwhile, the second Allied convoy slips through the Straits of Gibraltar and steams eastward for Oran and Algiers. In Oran, there are vital airfields and an important road network. Algiers is the economic, political, and military center of the entire area. If the convoy can survive the Mediterranean gauntlet of submarines and bombers, all of Northwest Africa will fall into Allied hands in one swift stroke. With some help from the French, the tactics work. The landings are the first major Allied victory in the war against the Axis. 3 days after the first troops touch the beaches, French North Africa is a fighting ally. The French themselves are now free to join the march against the common enemy. At their newly won seaports, the Allies begin the enormous buildup of supplies in preparation for the ultimate conquest of all North Africa. General Montgomery and his 8th British Army are lashing Marshal Rommel and his fleeing Africa Corps 1,200 miles to the east. In the west, the Allies must make ready for a drive into the desert to catch Rommel in his flight and squeeze him to death. The campaign that began as an amphibious assault becomes a grinding struggle for supplies. Showdown for the Mediterranean is on. All supplies, all Allied soldiers must be brought in by ship. The campaign depends on the ports and the navies that control them.